Good morning. I hope that everyone has had a productive work week so far. Today is Thursday. I have a meeting today, so I want to try to do a quick look. I want to do chocolate on my eyes or brown on my eyes with maybe like a splash of color under my lower lash or with a wing. I'm not decided which one yet. So I've already primed my eyes, primed my eyebrows. I used the NYX brow glue to do that. I have sprayed my face with a hydration face mist. It's from the brand Mandacadar, and I received this in a BoxyCharm a couple of months ago. So I wanted to try out some of my Sephora products. I'm using some things that are old to my collection, and then some things that I recently purchased as gifts to myself for my birthday. So all of the products, I wish that all of the products that I'm going to use were Sephora brand, but they're not, because there's some things that I have that aren't from Sephora, like setting powder. So I do have the Sephora Spice Market palette. So you can use this for blush, bronzing, and highlight. I have a Sephora bronzer in the shade 06 Ibiza. And it looks like this. Sorry. I also have a Sephora micro smooth powder, and I normally use this to set my entire face, and this is in the shade 65 Toffee. I have the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. It's in the shade 57Y. I have two Sephora concealers that I use under my eye, and I have the shades Nutmeg and Cinnamon. I think I'm going to go in with the Nutmeg towards the outer part and maybe Cinnamon towards the inner corners. Oh, let's see. Sorry about that. I have a Sephora eyeshadow primer that I just purchased. It's not open yet, so I'm going to play with that today. I have a Sephora eyeliner. It's not opened. I have a Sephora Smooth and Blur primer. I'm going to test this out today. And then I have 3 lip products. So I have the Sephora Glossed Lip product, and I have the shades Yes Honey and Not Today. I think this one is, it's also a gloss, a gel gloss. It's in the shade Pink Crystal. And then I have a darker Sephora concealer that I may use to clean up the top of my brow, but I can't remember the shade name for this one because it's not on here anymore. I've had this for a while. Trying to see. So I'm going to go ahead and add some primer so that can be dry by the time I'm ready to move on to my face. If I can get it open. Oh Lord. One sec. Okay, I was able to get it open. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on this brush, and it's not clear. It's kind of a beigey tone. And it feels like any other primer. Actually feels like the e.l.f. putty primers. I'm gonna put a little bit more on. And I like to buy products that, a variety of products from the same brand, because to me they tend to work better together and marry each other. So this won't be, in my opinion, this is not one of those primers that are tacky like the e.l.f. or the Milk Hydro Grip. This is not like that. This is definitely like similar to the e.l.f. Putty Primer. Okay, so I'll let that sit. And then I'm going to use, I think I'll use a pencil to sculpt my brows today. Usually when I have a meeting, I try to start to get ready about 30 minutes to an hour before my shift starts, so that I can have the time to get ready and not rush. Now I think I'll try the lighter foundation, which is the cinnamon, to clean up underneath my brow. So I'm just gonna put some on my hand. I actually have two different type of mixing trays. I just never really use them. That's an item that I can definitely say money was wasted on, because I don't use them. And this is my first time using this concealer to clean up underneath my brow. So hopefully it will be similar to the concealers that I normally use under or on my eyelid and under my brow. It's definitely giving me the color that I want. So I'm gonna take a sponge and kind of press this in to kind of make it be a flat shade and not so bright. And then I'll take that other one, the darker one that I don't know the name of, and clean up the top. My nose is peeling. And I'll use this same brush to kind of buff that darker concealer out. And I always feel like my right brow isn't as defined as the left. And then I'm also going to use this primer from Sephora to put on top of my lid. Before I put it on my eye, I need to see what color it is. And I'm just going to put this in the areas where I'm actually going to apply shadow and blend that in. And it's the texture of this is very different from concealer. It's thin. It's kind of like the mini concealers from Juvia's Place. If I'm doing a comparison, is what it feels like. So these right here, they're kind of, the texture of these are kind of thin to me, so I don't really use those on my face. I'd like to set under, to brighten under my eyes or anything like that. If I use it, it'll be on my eyelid. Trying to get this paper off. I can do that later. So I'm going to take that same brush, which is a Real Techniques domed shadow brush. Does it have? It's a brush number 314. And I'm just going to press the primer in. And I just realized I don't have my palette. So I do have a Sephora palette, but I'm afraid that the brown in here is not going to give me, well, you know what? We can try it. Excuse me. So I'll go in with this color as transition and then put this, but this looks like it's going to come off more burgundy. So I'm going to use my Jaclyn Hill brush. It's brush number JH34, and it has a fluffy end. So I'm going to go in with that lighter brown as my transition. Oh, okay. You may have something going. So it looks like it comes off darker on your lid than it looks in the palette, which is good. And you got to be very careful with the primers and concealers that you use under your eye. or on your eyelid, because you want to be able to move the product that you're applying. And sometimes when you put different brands of shadows, of course each brand has their own formula, and it may not mesh well with the eyeshadow that you're using. And the more you play around in makeup, the more you'll kind of discover that. So I'm going to use, if I can find it. My desk looks a mess, y'all. Like, I normally never let my desk look like this. I'm not sure if it's because this is my birthday month and I've kind of been ripping and running with different things. We had our spring break trip, and then that following week was my birthday, and then this week kind of getting back into work and the different things that I have to do there. Okay, I like that. I didn't think it would. Okay, Sephora. And this is the Sephora I Love palette. And this color, I think I would use this to brighten up my brow bone. And so this second brush that I pulled to apply the second shade of brown is a BH Cosmetics brush. It's number 6, but this is one of their, they have different collection of brushes. And not sure which collection this is, because I purchased their brushes from Marshalls and TJ Maxx. So I'm gonna take like a buffing brush. I'll show you when I find one. Okay, here's one. This is another BH Cosmetics collection. This is the number 5 brush of that collection. So it has like wispy, I call them hairs on the brush. So I'm going to use that to just blend my edges out. And I make all kind of faces when I'm putting on my makeup. I catch myself sometimes and fix it, but sometimes I forget. Okay, so you see how this eye looks totally different from this eye, and that's because this one is blended. So I am going to go back in with a little bit more of that darker brown, because I want it to be rich in chocolate. Make sure that this color is all over my eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so I am back. I forgot we have a couple of contractors that are coming today for different things. So I tried to line my eyes with the Sephora liner. That was an epic fail. So I did line them with the e.l.f. liner, and it's of course black. So we can now go in with our complexion products. We'll start off with foundation. And I have a backup of this because I think this one is about out, but I always try to squeeze out the little bit that is left in here. So I do about a pump of the foundation. Telling y'all I have a mess on this desk. I'm gonna use my BH Cosmetics brush. I think this is brush number 1. This one was brush number 9. I can't think of the name of the brush collection set that these came from. I talked about it in another video, and I remember I'm linking them in a video as well, but right now I can't remember the name. So normally that's all I do, is just the one pump. But if I go in and see where I need more, like if there's some hyperpigmentation showing or any imperfection in my eyes, I'll go back and add more product. But this looks fine to me. So I'll leave it as that. I do see where I need some more. Around my mouth, on my forehead. And I always try not to waste any product, so if it comes out of the container and it can't go back in, I'm finding somewhere to put it. Okay. And this, I love this hair, but it has random strings every now and then. So I'm always fighting, trying to find them. I like to wear up and down. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna close this up. And usually I clean up as I go. I have not been doing that. I haven't washed my brushes, which I was supposed to do on Sunday. I'm just out here in these streets living reckless. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Sephora concealers. So remember I said I was gonna put the lighter one. So the lighter one is cinnamon. I'm gonna put cinnamon in the inner corners. And you don't need a lot. So I'm gonna take that same brush that I used to clean up the top and bottom of my brow. Just cleaning my brush off. And for flat brushes, I just put the concealer on the front and the back. And I can't remember if these dry down fast or not, because I really don't use them like that. So I'll save this in case I need to add more. And then I'm going to go in with that darker shade. And wipe off my brush. I don't think, well, out of the packaging, they don't look like they're too different, or, you know, that many shades darker than the other. But we'll see. See if I make sure I put the right one on. No. Okay. Say that because that looked the same. Okay, so I'll just add a little of the nutmeg, which still it doesn't look like too much of a difference to me. Their formula seems to be a little bit more creamy. So let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna take a wipe. Get this off my hand because I believe I have enough. Probably too much, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it dry down a little bit. And then for my, I'm still going to use my Born This Way Too Faced concealer on my forehead, my chin. And this is the shade Caramel. And I'm going to use Cookie down the bridge of my nose. Which it looks like Cookie is a close match for the Sephora's concealer, so that's good. Eat the rest of my banana. So I have this berries palette from Beauty Bay. Not sure if I want to add one of these pinks underneath my lower lashes or not. We'll see. So I don't know if you all can tell, like I'm so ready for this work week to be over. I haven't really rested this entire month. I guess I'll sleep in June because May is still a busy month in my family. My birthdays are ranged between, I guess I should say, March, April, May, and June. Yeah, this is definitely thicker than. Okay, let me try blending this with the Beauty Blender first. I am wiping off my wing. And I definitely don't want to do that. Yeah, this is the Sephora definitely creamier than what I normally use. Just trying to blend that in so it won't be so harsh. And I'm going to use the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation sticks as my contour sticks. My under eye is really bright. I don't know how this is going to work, y'all. So I think I'm going to end up having to... Good morning, baby. You up early? Oh, you got appointments today, right? Okay. Well, I'll be in my meeting soon. My meeting starts at 10:30. Probably around the time that he'll be here. But it's okay. It's fine. It won't be an issue. It's fine. Whatever. If he come, whatever time he come, it's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start with this little brush. And I'm going to look up, so hopefully as I'm blending, I'm making sure that the concealer is not creasing. This is a lot of concealer. Way more than I normally use. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to use my Sacha Buttercup to set underneath my eyes because I don't have a Sephora powder to do that. Okay. Then I'm going to use my La Mercier in the shade Translucent. And I just pour a little bit in the top. I am going to use this brush. What is this? A Japanese? I think this, yeah, Japanese brush. This is 718 is the number. I'm going to use the Sephora Micro Smooth on the remainder of my face. And I'm going to use a buffing brush from Real Techniques number 204. It looks like that. And I'm going to use this Sephora palette. I think I want to use this brown to bronze with instead of the bronzer that I actually have. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to spray my face. Do not have a Sephora spray, so I'm going to use this Milani Make It Last. I'll let that dry and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I do apologize. My start time kind of crept up on me for work. So this is the finished look. I did decide to use what is, oh, I tore the paper off and I definitely can't see it. But I just used one of the glosses from the Sephora Collection. I have, and I think it came out pretty good. I wasn't so sure about the concealer, so just to recap on the products that were used for today's look. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my hair up this way or if I'm going to let it down. But for my lashes, I am wearing the AOA Studio 3D Faux Mink Locks in the style Chrissy. They are $1.55 from the Shop Miss A website. For my eyeshadow, I use the Sephora I Love palette. For my primer, I use the Sephora Beauty Amplifier Primer. I used the Sephora Smooth and Blur Primer today for the first time. So far, so good. I did use the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation stick in the shade Mahogany to contour. I used the Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Toffee to set my entire face. Initially, I went in with this brown color right here to bronze my face out of the Spice Market palette. And then I used the pink and the rust color as my blushes. But I did end up going back in with the Sephora bronzer in the shade Ibiza just to darken it up and get it the shade that I like. I used 2 of the Sephora Make No Mistake high coverage concealers. I used the shade Cinnamon and Nutmeg, and these are actually equivalent to the shades that I used from the Born This Way Too Faced concealer. So it came out just the way that I like it, the brightness that I like under my eye. This darker one, which I don't know the shade because the label is gone, but I used it to clean up my brow with, and I used it to cover my eye, the lines underneath my eyes as well before I applied my foundation. I did use the Sephora Make No Mistake foundation in the shade 57Y. And I had 3 glosses. So this one is Yes Honey. This one is Pink Crystal. So this is the actual one that I used. In the beginning, I said the name of all 3. But, oh, not today. This one is not today. So, I think everything turned out the way that I wanted it to. I did line my lips with a I think these are NYX liners, and the shade is just brown. So this is the final look for today. I hope that you all like it. I did add pink underneath my lower lash, and I chose the Berries palette, and I used this pink right here. So this palette is really pretty. I hadn't tried it before. My daughter had a similar look last week to this when she went to do her photo shoot, and I just wanted to try it out with the pop of pink. So I think it came out really pretty. I would definitely like to know you all's opinion, so if you can leave that down below. As always, if you have any questions, suggestions about the products that were used in today's video, you're welcome to leave those comments down below as well. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that your work week continues to go as planned. It's one more day before the weekend, and if you're like me, you're already tired. So I pray that you all get the strength to do whatever it is that you need to do before the weekend comes. Until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.